Hey, good morning, everyone. Good to see you all. So I'd love to, check in with anyone. I'm not sure if there are people here doing the 7-day retreat. There might be a few people. Okay, yeah, Lori, yeah, awesome. And Gita, yeah, amazing. Okay. So, yeah, I'd love to just, and anybody, this is just a chance to talk about our practice, our sadhana. So, yeah, I'll open it up. Whatever's coming up in your practice, let's just go into it and connect. If you, some people are doing the self-inquiry dyads as well, and there are things that come up in those dyads where, sometimes we can just do almost like a little self-inquiry here as well, and clear some of the things that are coming up in that practice as well. So, I'll start with Ruben. Hi, Ruben. Let me unmute you. Yes. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, my heart is beating very fast right now. I did the 7-day retreat about 2.5 months ago, and I've been meditating before that for 30, 40 years, long time, but never this long. Never 6, 7 hours a day. So that's a first, and it blew my mind, by the way. So I watched your fourth video 5 times, 6 times.
Wow.
It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. There's so many things in there that are just incredible. I'm trying to figure out where to even start. Oh, I'm trying to figure out where to start, where to say, where to go. Um, it with all the meditation and all the practice of about 3 months ago. You said, ask yourself, is presence here? And for 2 months, all I did was say, is presence here? Is awareness here? And no matter where I was, it was there. Presence is always there. And watching your video, um, you said you are the presence, and that just blew my mind. I'm like, I'm the presence, something that cannot be described, something that doesn't have a definition, something that is beyond words. And I remember vividly on the course that you took, the fourth part, where you said language is not innocent, in that it's deceiving. Language is deceiving. To say my body, my life is all incorrect because I don't have anything. We are we. We are we. And so language is quite like a Chinese puzzle that the more you pull it, the more you get stuck until you just release it. And
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden it just hit me. Every single person is awake. Some realize it, some don't. And that's it. That's it. We are 2 weeks ago, I raised my hand and I asked you to raise your hand and I asked you, who raised your hand? And you said you did. And it just blew my mind so much that I was speechless. And then I thought, wait, there's only one you. There's only one you. You are you, you are you, you are you. Every single person is
Mm-hmm.
that you that you're referring to. So it would be correct to say we are we.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so,
And I think
so
what came up for me as well was the absurdity of that. So that, when I said you, it seemed true in that moment, but then the language sort of deconstructed itself after that as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
language,
Yeah.
language is not innocent.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not innocent. And so
Yeah.
I figure, what would life be like with no language at all?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, there would be a lot more truth. There would be. So I'm thinking about animals and nature and gravity. So I was thinking about gravity and how gravity is there all the time, no matter what.
Mhm.
And so this life force that we are is always there. And it doesn't seem to be affected at all. It's just there. And
Mhm.
whether we agree with it or don't agree with it, it doesn't matter. We are we, no matter what. And so I think to myself, when moments of peace and tranquility and meditation, I feel so good. It feels so amazing. It feels right on. And I want to send a shout out to Julie because it really light bulb went off when she said that she's been doing this for over a year. And I see that peace and that calmness that she's achieved. And achieved is not the right word because it's not a goal. So that's kind of funny. So thank you, Julie, for that comment. And it just realized that, okay, so be in the world, but not of the world. All of a sudden, it made sense to me. I'm like, we're in the matrix, but we're not of the matrix. And so it's just this balancing act. Like to say my wife is incorrect because it would be the wife or the Reuben or the Dan character, as you call it,
Mhm.
is so my but I see somebody smiling over here. Hello. So well, I'm just balancing I'm not of the matrix, but I am in the matrix with this avatar called Ruben, who's just a character. It's just it's a non-thing. So it's just that balancing act. So I guess I'm trying to get to the question, which is where do you go from here?
Mm. Yes. So yeah, thank you for that. That's amazing. And yeah, so in the world, but not of the world. To me, what's happening in this sadhana and this process, it's like we're waking up from that, that identification, the sense of I, it's the I thought, whatever, or any thought whatsoever, where there's a contraction and this sense of I has preferences to whatever's arising. We wake up from, the dream of this separate I, this false I. But the deepening of our sadhana, then like the awakening Kensho, if it's a full awakening, realizing that which is the ground of all being, which you said, at one point you mentioned, everyone is awake. Actually, it's not the characters that are awake, but there's an awareness that is present, and it's this universal awareness that is having the experience of all these different characters. It's the one that is there. So when we awaken, if that ground of being wakes up to itself, even through waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, even when there's no world, that remains.
Yeah.
And so if that is alive and awake, there's an unfolding that happens. The energies that are normally going into Maya, you know, um, they reconfigure in a different way. So there's this reconfiguration that's happening, and so there's a deepening of everything in this world. Um, Paradoxically, there's an intimacy that starts to
Mhm.
happen. And so where do we go from that awakening, realizing, okay, I'm not the character, I'm not that, but then this deepening, this energetic sort of alchemy is happening, and there's a sort of re-merging with all that is, and there's a realization that I am that too, so you're in the world but not of the world, but
Yeah.
the deepening of that is actually you are the world, you are the
Okay.
matrix. It's you, like there's a, the Dan form here. There was an awakening, realizing, okay, I'm not limited to that form. But there's over time been this sort of rewiring, which is, it's connected to the chakras and the, kundalini, all that energy. It has its own intelligence and its own
Yeah.
mission. So when that starts to really develop, there's a deepening of that intimacy with this avatar, this character. So, so more and more, I feel like I really am Dan. That's the paradox of all of this is like the awareness is becoming more and more intimate with just what is, which yeah, it's the illusion, but it's also just what is.
Yeah.
Like these words like real and illusion, as you said, it's they're nonsense. It's just these false dualities.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just what is arising. So they're it's very tricky to talk about the
Yeah.
path because there are these stages of unfolding where there's awakening, but then beyond awakening, there's this deepening of samadhi, this deepening of union with all that is. That's that's the mystery. That
Yeah.
we're all of it, and
Okay.
yet we're always free of it at the same time.
Okay, just one last comment here. Eckhart Tolle is one of my favorites, and I remember him saying that I don't know how he termed it, source, God, the life force, asked him to go to California, and so he went to California, doing what it told him to do, like he's just guided. And I feel the same is true of you. It's like you're creating this 7 day retreat, and it's amazing. But it's like source. I don't know the correct word to use. God, source, being, life. Like I said, uh, language is not innocent, and it's living through you, and it's living through me, and it's just like it's like a letting go, like I'm on a roller coaster, and I just have to let go and let life live me.
Hmm.
Life is me. It's like one and the same. And once again, I go back to that same thing. Language is not innocent. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for creating this space, and uh, I'll just keep letting it live me, and on we go.
That's it. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you, Ruben. Yeah. It's yeah, I feel that life living us is it. This latest film, literally, life came in. There was this wave, riding. For months riding this wave of energy, and
It's incredible.
somehow this thing happened, and then the wave passed. So
Oh,
yeah,
that part where you say the I is not a noun. It's just like what? It's like,
hmm,
it's not a
yeah.
noun. It's not a thing.
Yeah, well, this is one of the little parts I was going to put in there, which is going to be a little short piece. There's this beautiful saying from Suzuki Roshi that there are no enlightened people. There
Yeah,
are only enlightened actions. So it's only when we allow life to come through, then
yeah,
then the action becomes in alignment with this intelligence and so there's no there's no I that can take. If any I takes ownership of anything, then yeah, that's the limitation, and
okay.
yeah, and we're back in that language game
Okay,
again.
what one last thing, and that's it. I'll
Hmm.
stop. The Dyads, one time I went to the I am, and I kept saying I am, I am, I am, and didn't let go of that. And my
Hmm.
whole body felt like it was electrified. And it
Hmm.
was just amazing. It was incredible because I was there. The
Hmm.
next Dyad, the next day, I started doing the same thing. I am, I am. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, it was the ego that thought it was the I am. And I started laughing because it was the ego that took possession of the
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, and that's a great little teaching right there. That's the ego does that over and over. It's like we have something that is authentically emerging in our sadhana. We have the experience, the direct experience, and then the mind goes, okay, let's recreate that again. And then very quickly, or
Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah,
that's what we have to catch those things over and over, because that's what the mind just does
yeah,
continuously.
yeah. So
Hmm. Yeah, thank you.
thank you, dear.
Speta, hello. I'll get you to unmute.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
At some point of your path, probably any question is doesn't mean anything. You don't need any questions, but I'm still wobbling between my person and I. So there is some questions, and probably I know the answer deep inside, but still.
Mhm.
After I graduated, I keep on saying graduated from 7-day retreat, it became extremely easy to stay in I amness.
Mhm.
And with that, you're always saying that there would be some samskaras and vasanas coming out. But really, when you stay in I amness, it feels like you don't care too much. They come, you don't grasp them, and they go, and there is no pain. It's not a painful process. It's just something is happening in the system. It's
Yeah.
releasing.
Mhm.
Is it, mm, is it so, or is it some kind of trick?
Well, so yeah, like, and that insight is something that's come up for many people. You know, I've had people on retreats who, you know, they've done years of therapy, or they're even therapists. You know, people who work in psychology, and they'll have that flip. They'll have that kensho, and recognize their true nature, and they realize like therapy is not necessary. If I'm not this character, then none of it is a problem, right? So all of those vasanas and samskaras, you know, they reside in the character, and you know, so if we can work on that level and improve the character, we can go to therapy and you know, do practices and rewire the mind body, but when we awaken, none of that matters. You know, the body mind can be in any condition, and it really doesn't matter. You know, it can be sick, it can be healthy. You know, if you look at a teacher like Ramana Maharshi, you know, he said, like, what does it have to do with me? He said, you know, like his body at one point was full of cancer. You know, it was dying, and you know, a very excruciating form of cancer would be very painful. And someone asked him about that, and they were like, "Aren't you identified?" And he was like, "What does it have to do with me?" You know. So yeah, so when we're awake, when we're in, you know, that direct knowing of our true nature, that's liberation. We're free in that moment, you know. And then maybe the mind produces vasanas, or maybe not. But it all comes down to, you know, do I believe the next thought that's coming in? You know, if I believe that thought, if I identify with that thought, then, you know, that's the I thought again, and you know, there's more to clear. But if I don't believe that thought, if I'm just being, then there's no problem. You're free. You're actually always free. The awareness that you truly are is always free. But there's a, you know, that I thought is where the sense of what I am flips from the, you know, the true I, which is unlimited, to, you know, some part of the phenomenal world, some part of the mind. So there's that identification. So yeah, so there, like in our sadhana, there's nothing to do except to be as you are, you know, until, you know, there, sometimes it seems that there are things to do, you know, maybe you know, something, a big charge comes up from the unconscious, and it seems like there's something to clear. It seems like there's something to work through, or you know, a blockage, or some energy needs to move, and so you know, so maybe we do some yoga, maybe we do some breath work, you know, but that is only because we believe that we're not free. And then we can remember again, oh yeah, I'm not the one doing all that. I'm I've always been free. So this is the pathless path is this paradox, and it's just what is. Yeah.
On one hand side, I just feel like if like let's say Vasana is coming or some usually unpleasant one, you just stop feeding it and it might come again, but without your attention and about the energy that you direct to it, it just evaporates and it disappears. And on another hand side, when I, for example, intentionally try to touch and find some old vasanas or some samskaras, um, I don't know, maybe maybe that identity entity like either completely sleep or just disappeared as itself, but I touched the problem and I don't care at all about this problem anymore.
That's good. And so you said I went to look for samskaras.
Mhm.
Is that right? So yeah, so that I that was looking for the samskaras, what
It feels like it's completely different I from the I who, let's say, entered 7 day retreat.
yeah. Yeah. So that yeah, so the in that it's interesting because the one that was looking, if you kind of examine, was there a belief that something has to happen or that something more, it's like something more needs to happen, some more purification. So yeah, so even, those, when we go into the search or to start purifying the self structure in some way. I've seen this over and over with different modalities that people work with, and some of them, it's like they're turning a searchlight, going, let's go deep into the unconscious and find all the samskaras and root them out, but what is that searchlight, that's looking here and there, is still part of that conditioned mind as well.
It's
So
fifth standard, as far as I understand. Okay.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's a useful stage, but once you know who you are, you don't need to go into that anymore. Because you can see that movement of the mind as just more mind. It's just part of the mind. So in the beginning of our sadhana, we want to see that part of the mind that's turning attention here and there, make it conscious. But once we see it, we see that witness and we see that movement, then there's nothing to do. We're conscious. We're just aware of the mind, and we're aware of who we are. So our sadhana becomes something different then. It's just being here, just seeing the truth in every moment. And then, whatever's going to burn up will burn up. It's only when we believe that, if I identify with that searching part of the mind, I think, oh, okay, I'm going to get on board with that agenda, and I feel like that's me searching and that I have to do something. Then again, that that's Maya is back, but the truth is, once you know who you are, that's the beginning and the end of all sadhana. It's just abiding as the self.
Yeah, what I was trying to say probably is when you realize yourself for your person, for your entity is much easier to clear up um, some scars intentionally.
Hmm. Yeah. It's the energy will just do it. There's just sort of a natural unfolding with that. Yeah. So you're finding a sense of ease in that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lisa, Hi, Lisa. Get you to unmute.
Happy New
Hi.
Year, everyone. Namaste. Wow, it's just like a spontaneous fruit here because everything just comes as an answer. Like everyone that's already spoken, um, that always happens. So thank you for that. And yeah, so it feels like the path or the pathless path is not like the yamas and niyamas were kind of more like outposts. And over the past year, or maybe a little longer, but more noticeable, they're more of a natural state um, of um, those codes or virtues. And I'm
Can you
finding,
explain what you, just so people know, they might not be familiar with those terms, but can you explain what you mean by yamas and niyamas?
yeah, so
Yeah.
in Patanjali's Ashtanga eight-limb system, which I was taught as an Ashtangi or as a yoga teacher, the first two limbs are ethical or social codes of conduct, or observances of outer world and inner world. And it these are five in each of the yamas, the niyamas, and the yamas are ethical being, oh gosh, nonviolent.
Hmm.
Um,
So like
also,
the do's and don'ts
the
of,
do's and the don'ts,
yes,
exactly, like the
yeah.
Ten Commandments,
Hmm.
really,
Yeah.
but on a deeper level, I find. And so, but what I'm noticing now, so they're not kind of output, they're not like I'm reaching out, because those are the first two limbs, even before the postures, right? And then there's the breath, and then there's focus and concentration, meditation, and samadhi as the whole total eight limb system. But I find that it's full circle because it's not linear or a ladder of that eight limb system. And it's funny because now the realization of those yamas after meditation and this deep inquiry are just a natural resonant within this vehicle, vessel, or character. And so it does get easier. Everything is getting easier, but tapas and saucha, the fire element, is what you're speaking of, the spiritual fire. So I feel those are really strong right now, and truth. So tapas being fire. So I'm having a lot of night sweats, like huge, for the past few months, and I literally feel like I'm cooking, and burning, the samskaras. But like Sveta said, it's being done for us almost. I feel like those are just kind of being purified as I sleep. And so it does feel like, and like you said, it becomes more intimate. Um, and I think Ruben said it's the eye thins out so much that it just, and you're saying, it's just the world, like it's just us, we, and the whole entirety of it. And my question is, what was my question now? Gosh, uh, the burning and the cooking, and the spiritual fire that you're talking about, and the forge.
Hmm.
Um, it is feeling like the elementals, like the fire, the air, the water, and the earth are so full in harmony as the building blocks of our universe, that those, I think, are balancing themselves out within us. So we can align closer with nature and all the natural building blocks of earth. And so, as we dive deeper into self inquiry and go deeper with the dyads and the I am, and as this thins out, I totally forget my question now. But yeah, so I guess I just wanted to make those observations because, like I said, everybody answers the questions for me, and then you bring through the answers, and oh, it's just so amazing. I find that these gatherings are just so, oh my gosh, they're so potent, they're so full, they're so um, like the I becomes the we, and I just feel like we're getting more connected, more of that bigger I am. And I don't know if you have anything to say to that, Dan. Sorry.
No, thank you. Yeah, I feel the same way. I love these gatherings, and it's like I feel the collective energy and the one mind coming online here. And I never know what's going to come out of my mouth or your mouth or any, and it's all one thing. But to speak to what you described there, I feel like that burning, all of that alchemy and that energy that's moving, that's alive. It is connected to, it's like the Shiva and Shakti. The more we go into, the self-inquiry and realize the Shiva consciousness that's just here, we realize that to be what we are. It's that, there's a corresponding freeing of energy then. And so the more conscious I become, the more alive that energy becomes as consciousness. They're actually, the Shiva and Shakti are just one thing. So there's this ongoing dance as it's all sort of unfolding. And yeah, I want to also comment on your first thing you said about the Yamas and Niyamas. I think we really do see, the further we go on the path, we start out learning yoga and it's something learned. It's like we're imitating, this 8-limb system and, the teachings of these yogis. And so that's how it starts for everyone. But then at a certain point, we start to find out who we are, and those initial sort of commandments or instructions, we find we don't need those anymore, because I don't need a rule to tell me not to kill someone. When I see the truth of who I am, I'm directly seeing that you are me. So I don't need that rule anymore. It's like, why would I harm if we're all one consciousness playing these roles? So so that there's that direct seeing of the truth, which it's beyond all of these rules and pointers and practices, and all true love and true oneness flow from the recognition of that truth. And then we step it down in our world, so if we're not connected or not in realization of the one, then maybe as a society we need morality, or we need these pointers to not harm each other, and and we step it down even more, and then you need rules and enforcement of, and laws and all of these things. But when we really know ourselves and know the truth, everything flows from that truth, and there's a natural harmony in the world.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, it does feel like it's full circle, that 8-limb. Like it feels like it's backwards.
Mhm.
Like the meditation
Yeah.
is what, it wasn't even maybe the postures, but truly the pranayama and the breath work, yes, and the meditation and just going deep in the dyads. But it's just been such an amazing journey, and Shiva is huge right now. I mean, Shiva is here. Like this is why we're feeling this fire, and the year of the fire horse. It's just so you can really feel like it's already starting to this initiation into oneness, and so yeah, I'm connecting with Shiva a lot. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dan, for your commitment, and to Samadhi for it's truly amazing. And let it just go out into the ethers to every being who's awakened already. But and then they'll go, okay, I get it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste, Lisa. Go to Lori. Get you to unmute. Here we go. Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see me or did I just disappear?
No, you are here.
Okay, I can't see you, but that's okay. Okay, so I was on fire. It was about the fire element, and just over the last couple days, a few times, don't know, sitting in meditation, just really on fire for an eternity that lasted maybe a minute. So I was just going to ask if that was burning things up, like you mentioned before, and it sounds like it is.
Mm-hmm. How would you describe the phenomena of it in your experience? Was it, you could feel like a location of that heat and that burning, or did it feel more like there's no location, or?
Just coming up through the trunk and yeah,
Yeah.
like not like a flush, not a slow.
Was there like a sense of equanimity with that, or was the mind okay with that, or was there resistance to it? Or?
Um, yeah, there was some resistance. Then it was, I guess it was like, what was it? Mm, I can't remember what the thought was, but there's just the question, is it true?
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then it was really just still a hot feeling,
Mm-hmm.
yet it was okay just there
Yeah,
with it.
good.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, the mind, often when we have these kind of burning experiences or purification happening, the mind will. It can be kind of dramatic sometimes. The mind will say, "Oh, it feels like I'm dying. This is it. I'm," and 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 but when we really examine what's happening, it's like, okay, it's not that bad, like the burning is there, but it's if we really go into it, we become intimate with the actual sensations that are arising, then it's actually just an aliveness that's there, and whatever the mind is labeling, it's usually not true. It's just,
Mhm.
yeah. So that's good. Yeah. So you just allowed that to happen and move through. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, and what are you working with in your practice right now? You're just sitting, or are you working with technique, or?
Um, Sitting and, well, was it today or last night? There was the starting of the question, um, tell me what I am,
Mhm.
and sitting with presence there
Mm.
or here or
Mhm.
where. Um, and this is my ongoing question is, without anything, without any thoughts or anything, um, what would I be?
Mhm.
And So just that is the practice. My regular practice that I get lives in me. I don't know how to say this. Would be like the Byron Katie work.
Right, right, yeah.
So
Good. Yeah, that's a great
when
combo.
things come up, it's just
Yeah,
like, oh.
yeah. Yeah, just questioning the thoughts and are they true? And yeah, that's amazing. So yeah,
It's
that insight into, like who am I or what am I? Who or what am I beyond, the definitions, beyond the thoughts? Is it possible to directly experience that? And yeah, to me that's meditation, to just be with that directness, beyond the thoughts about it. It's both meditation and self-inquiry. It's like they converge at that point. Yeah. And yeah, and when the thoughts get sticky, then it's those tools like Byron Katie's work is incredible for very quickly sort of dispersing those thoughts. When we question them, they're not usually true, and they're not absolutely true or in any sense. So yeah.
it's pretty neat when something happens and there's the seeing that I get excited, right? It's like, oh, I get to do this. I get to work on this. And it's instead of upset, it's like
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
excitement. And then yet with the excitement there, then there's no work to be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beautiful, and they can coexist. You can be, even when you're burning, you can be excited about the burning, or
Mhm.
just we can start to love the process itself. Even our
Yeah.
pain, because we know it's purifying this self structure. So even that we can love that as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Ildiko, hi. Get you to unmute.
Hi,
Hello.
can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Dan.
No.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be here and listen to everyone also. And yeah, I also always resonate with everyone. And yeah, I don't think I have a question, but I just want to share. Perhaps that's okay.
Sure.
Um, since I watched the fourth edition of the Samadhi movie series, and shortly, I also shared that feedback in the application form for the upcoming Dyad retreat, the 3 days, that it was really powerful for me. Of course, I participated on the past 2 years of December 7 days retreat, so that was yeah, a bit of a tornado for me, but
Yeah, I
I
remember.
survived.
Yeah.
I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I feel much different and more confident in who I am, which is super. And so it's so much appreciation in my heart and gratitude for, again, for your work and what you do, and keep going, because this is really what we need. And hopefully your energy will, yeah, uh, keep lasting for a long time um, in this lifetime. Um, And when I watched the fourth edition of the movie, I was watching it in a meditative state, for sitting with no movement. Even I tried to not to move my eyes, to really just to, yeah, receive it that way. And it was a purging process, and particularly for my eyes, actually, it was just, yeah, I was like streaming crying, and I didn't sob. it was just tears coming and rolling and with no stop. So I was like, okay, that's effective, I felt. And I didn't feel that there were any like exaggeration in it. It was like just an honest stream of letting go.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And
Mm.
yeah, and
That's
then
a that's
yeah,
a part of the film actually that was left out. There is a little part that is going to come out eventually, but it is about those little eye movements. You
yeah,
know how they're called saccades that are connected to our neurological wiring, and
mm,
there is something very powerful that a lot of people have reported when they really see that the eyes are moving like that and they become conscious of those little movements. There is an energetic shift or letting go that it's kind of well known in the meditation world. So yeah, and
mm,
that's something that everyone you know, when at a certain point in our practice, we'll just naturally kind of tune into those little movements, and then that will drop, and it can be, yeah, a big kind of energy gain and beautiful
mm-hmm.
clearing. Yeah. So
Totally. Yeah, I think the witness has loosened in that moment. And it was about a month ago exactly. And since then I feel more space in between even the witness and just being, the being awareness. So it doesn't feel that kind of uh do, want, control, watch, report, but it's just a little bit more space, a little bit more ease, a little bit more compassion, even
mhm,
with the witness listening. Yeah,
mhm. Beautiful.
yeah. And I think one more thing is about the physical sensations that I currently have, which in the last 2 years I have been going through a variety of phenomena coming up, and so move through and gliding through or rocky road or whatever comes. But this time, so my main phenomena that is going on in the body is always this kind of flare up of the nervous system. From the get-go I had that, but at the time I really was not equipped to just allow it. It was really alarming, and even now there is this emotion and like uncertainty about it.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm, mm,
a bit scary. Yeah.
mm, mm. Do you have things that you kind of go to kind of soothe that nervous system?
Yeah,
Mm,
so I'm a
mm,
yogini as
yeah.
well, so and
Mm,
uh, it's most probably I um, I think I went through something in my childhood that I'm really unaware of, maybe as a baby, or and it's the left leg that is really just um, yeah, spiraling sometimes out of control. And
mm, mhm,
what makes me more concerned about this is that the weekend it flared up again, and the leg was just really a bit shaking. And of course, I leave it as much as I can. So it's not like I cry all day about it. It's just sharing. It's really difficult. I put a little pillow under my whole foot and just let it do what it's doing. It's not me. It's just moving. It's and at the same time, it is me. And so I kind of like accept and allow, and then also see some kind of maybe attachment that the self structure still has on the body that may be triggering that. But this time it it looks like that it even left some small bruises on my buttocks.
mhm,
So I don't know if this is something ever anyone shared before, or is there any, yeah, maybe this is a question just to see. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, sorry.
So there's kind of different ways that we can sort of go into that. So, for me, like everything that comes up on our path, we can turn it into sort of an exercise in equanimity and surrender, and letting go, and I think there's a middle way with all of it. I think sometimes, like I've had things in my journey where my nervous system, my immune system, my autoimmune system was completely out of whack at one point, and so I had. In terms of labels, I had, rheumatoid arthritis. I couldn't even lift a plate at one point. The limbs were so weak and body was shaky. So there were things that, were just in terms of functionality in the world, it was a difficult time, and it drew me to, for me, I got into having a flotation tank, which I found was, I could go into like really, really deep relaxation in there that I couldn't do it in any other way. So there was like a mind-body connection happening there. And I've come now. I know it sounds a little bit cliche, but I've come to see that whole mind-body pattern as an incredible gift on my journey, because it was the very thing that took me deep into the body, to start to understand, how things are moving, how my mind reacts, and sometimes there are things, that are insights that we'll get along the way, that will, they're just very practical as well. There may be something that, if we just really go into our meditation and surrender and allowing that higher mind may connect us with something that will be part of our healing as well, the body's healing, or not. That's the thing. We never know. I feel like these things that we're given on our path are, there's a spiritual intelligence to all of it, and we never know exactly what the lesson is going to be. And I think that not knowing leaves us open to, receiving whatever is going to come through from that. So there may be, I think we can't assume, that it's if I just, surrender, I'm just okay with what is, then that's it, just because there may be an insight that comes through or an energy that comes through that will direct the next thing, the next healing, or the inner direction. Because I've seen people, with these meditation practices, people get very good at surrendering and just, but there may be signals. I have there's one person on the Awaken the World team who came to a retreat, and he was really good at surrendering, and the body at one point was sending these signals, where he was actually experiencing great amounts of pain in the body, and it was actually his appendix was sending him signals. His appendix was about to burst, but he was just sort of dissolving the pain, just being equanimous with it. So it became like a medical emergency for him. So I think, it's a little lesson there, to find this sort of middle way of, allowing, and being okay with what is, using this as an opportunity, but also, allowing that deeper wisdom to come through, to allow ourselves to be moved in whatever direction that inner intelligence is going to show us. Yeah.
And then I guess I'll just, see what's going on, and just allow for now, because of course it's disconcerting, but I also understand that there might be some attachment to the body
Yeah.
itself. For a long time it's been that way, and it's really recent that I know I am the body but I'm not the body, so it's the paradox.
Yeah.
So I think I will just allow that to unfold, and not give in to that kind of disconcern. And at the same time, it's really kind, right? This kind of motherly feeling. Hey, this body temple, I need to take care. Is this normal? Yeah. So yeah, I think I
Yeah.
just allow for now.
Yeah, yeah, and that's beautiful. I think there seems to be a groundedness in what you're saying.
Yeah,
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 my feeling is, like looking at my own life and some of the teachers that I've really benefited from on my path, a lot of them have had things like this, that have come, that have taken them very deep into the body mind in ways that they never would have before. So it's interesting. I think we're never given more than we can handle on the path. And, the thing that seems the most difficult is often the greatest gift on our path, because we're going to learn
yes.
so much about how it all works.
Mhm.
And those, like you said, if there's attachments, if there's fear, all of those things will come to the surface, and
Mm,
it's an accelerator on for the
yes.
path of awakening. It really is an accelerator. Yeah,
Mhm.
if we can use it to our benefit.
Mm. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I'll go to Shaheen.
Hi, hi Dan. Can you
Hello.
hear me?
Oops. Oh, I posted, spotlighted the wrong person.
Oh,
Here we go. There you are.
no, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Last week's pointers, I think something I think I went through for the past 4 years. This character, but a lot of suffering, and the one thing which I've noticed, I think the few people that came on and spoke, was this fire, this burning sensation. And for me, it was just unbearable at certain times, and it was triggered by maybe doing certain simple actions in life. And I think your point is kind of in those moments of since last week, the mind was like, "Where's the suffering?" So
Mm.
there was like this clear seeing. The whole thing is just mind. I'm not the mind, but like to see it, just like it was just for like maybe a few seconds or so, but it was like in that moment, it's so powerful. And the question I have is, so I think once in the dyad, this happened um, when I received the command. I know I generally tend to close the eyes and just see what comes up. And there was this. It was to put it in words. It's a bit hard, but like there's like this doorway, and there's this doorway to this timeless dimension, because when the awakening happened many years ago, there was that kind of experience that was there. And the mind was like it was just like I could feel that whatever it was just like happening by itself. And the mind was like, you have to respond. So I opened my eyes and just started just to respond. And then yesterday I was sitting and meditating. I was watching a YouTube, not a YouTube video, but Eckhart Tolle speaking, and it was like a guided kind of meditation. And the same thing was happening again, but this time it was, there was no mind there. And my mom just comes and knocks at the door at that split second. And yeah, so if you can provide some pointers as to, I don't even know how to, from this point, what to ask or what to say, but like something I appreciate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So let me just question a little bit. So when that so you had that experience of presence, or how would you describe it? Just the like being that awakeness that is just
So and I'm sitting and meditating. There's like a disappearance of, I don't know, maybe it's like this. It's hard to put it, like I
yeah
can't like articulate. It's just like
yeah
something's going on. I don't know,
yeah
like in the
yeah.
mind. It's like, yeah.
So I think I know from what you described. So if you so in the dyad, then there's that sense, or that you know opening, whatever it is that happens, and then so was in the mind. Then was there a feeling like the mind felt it had to do something still, or did the mind feel like
It was.
it was interrupting, or just or how well, like what was the
Oh,
mind, was the mind,
okay, I got you.
yeah, like were the words that were coming up, were they coming from that spaciousness, or was it just the mind trying to do the technique?
So there was just me there, just being present, and then like the mind was like there and then fading away. And it was like there and then like kind of fading away, and then
Mhm.
it was like almost like not there, and then it comes back again.
Yeah.
Mm.
So do you, in this moment right now, do you feel that presence, or that is that space of opening here now?
Yeah, just it's faint, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we know ourselves, in this moment, we have this direct knowing of that spaciousness, then the dyad becomes something else. Our dyad, like right now, you and I, we're sort of doing this dyad, and we can allow that spaciousness to sort of take over in this moment. And if words are going to come, we don't have to know what the words are going to be. They don't have to come from memory. We can just allow words to come from that spaciousness and that openness. And this is what, when I talk about a beginner's mind, there's a real not knowing. Like the mind might feel, like it's like, oh, this, it's a little bit scary because it doesn't, it's not in control. It's trying, anything could happen, right? From that spaciousness, anything can come up. Yeah, and there can be an energy to it as well. So yeah, so that's beautiful that that's happening, and in the dyads, we just, if there's something to report, if you can convey what's happening, we almost have to become like Rumi, like poets, to try and describe, if we really want to get it across to our partner
Mm.
what's happening. But that's the practice, and there can be this beautiful deepening then of that, coming to know, and so that the mind isn't just separate. It's like this conditioned mind reporting. It's just sort of mechanical, but but when we let go of that, that memory and conditioning, we just allow the mind to be completely open, then that something deeper can come through, and we never know what that's going to look like.
Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Hmm. Yeah. Thank you. Eva. Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
Hello. Oh, thank you so much for your time and for this and everybody being here. I didn't plan to raise a hand. I was just, when I logged in, I immediately felt like, I felt like that because I was all day outside playing a character with 3D and trying to, not trying, like learning to navigate the whole thing. And when I knew that there is, I felt I needed it. So when I logged in, I felt that. And somebody said immediately, I felt the collective. I don't know even what that means, but I'm feeling it. And you said something, and it was that compelled me maybe to raise a hand, which maybe is good to share. But this is my fourth day out of the retreat. And my story goes that I had some kind of kundalini, I don't know, awakening. I didn't know at the time since spring last year. And the science started, and I'm coming from a world of science, and my mind is too strong. And I'm not, I study the religions, but that's studying, that's not spirituality. So for me, crushing, it actually, when I look back, it was in the past 2, 3 years. But the science and everything is so strong. And I'm very honest with you, I was keeping that as almost secret. And somehow one led me to you guys. Another, I was following later. It was too strong. The pain was too strong for me to bear. So I couldn't resist anymore what's there in front of me. And now I feel, and I feel that was the signs of my apparently higher self. And sometimes they're very funny. I want to say that, which I want to laugh. Like really, that kind of, you cannot make those things up, so you cannot deny it. And with that being said, I want to share that very much strongly led my character all my life. Like nerdiness in me, I wanted always to research everything, to prepare. And so every time in my life, I basically show up without beginner's mind, just by a twist of fate, or maybe I was led to. This is the first time in my life I didn't. So when everybody shares something, and even the movie, I didn't watch it. So I was like, okay, I'm the worst student here. That's what my mind is telling me. I watched the two of the boat. So it's like, oh shoot. But I am feeling that I'm not ready still to watch it, that it will immediately activate my mind, that is learning mind always, because I love information. I love to learn.
That's
And
important.
that's something.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, because
It's not my choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're living it. You're living it. You don't need to watch a movie about it.
Okay. Because it's not even, I am compelled, for example, when I'm the only guidance that I am, I am very honest with you guys, like it's not my choice. I feel that my choice, the character choice, was to research Dagon, what it is, then learn everything. Like that's my like previous character mode. And I love information, love learning, but it's not time yet. I get that feeling constantly. No, it's not time yet. So that's my experience. So I was 4 day, and the mind is sneaky. So I have just few points that stayed with me from your teaching, from literally the schedule of resort, the retreat. And that was like really something, guiding for me. And I want to share, maybe that's why I was compelled to raise a hand. That was once you were shared, you guys here, about the eye, who is seeing, and then I have the realization, that was for me turning point when I was in the retreat. So I like I said, with the beginner mind, I listened to a teaching, and it was explaining about this stuff. So I was deep in heavy meditation after, and because my mind works very visually, movie kind of like, so I see movies always in my mind. And I was trying like to relax into the meditation, and something beautiful happened. And that's what changed the game for me. So maybe it's okay to share. So I saw the emotion coming. I saw when it's the visual, when it's like the something that's thinking mind, I felt body sensation. And in one moment I said, that where is that observer? Where is that I? It's part of the mind. And then what probably higher self gave me to help me was the Lord of the Rings. Sauron has that eye. That's
Yes,
when it's
the
and
Eye
it's
of
turning.
Sauron. I remember
Yes,
that. Yeah, yeah. That's a beautiful
my
metaphor. Yeah,
mind. And
yeah,
literally, when I
yeah.
visualize that, literally the eyes of the Sauron, that's the body sensation, then what the feeling came up. That
Hmm.
was for me turning point, that there is observer and
Hmm.
what's above that. And
Hmm.
then I felt the twist, and so that's why I raise a hand, because it's like it's funny to me, like how
Yeah.
it works. And still
Hmm.
now, when I'm not forcing it, I'm trying not to forcing, but I see the Sauron's eye, and like,
Hmm.
yeah, that's it. That's how it
Yeah.
feels.
Yeah, that's an amazing metaphor. Yeah, it's. I think in the movie he would put on the ring of power, and then the eye could see him, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like the Shiva and Shakti. You have like the two parts. Yeah, it's a
yeah.
beautiful metaphor. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that worked for me. And I had a lot of sensations
Hmm.
since I came here, like here in the 3D world. So I
Hmm.
have maybe one question or suggestion.
Hmm.
I'm just like I said, if I turn on anything about learning, researching, I know I'm going to be in trouble. Let's say even now it was difficult to navigate. For me, it was a lot of physical sensation. So when I would go deep in the meditation, or I would in my head, you know 3D, I would succeed, or I would feel that I'm just being, I would have like electroshocks. So it was a lot of those. So for example, when I would be here listening, I would have somebody say something, my body will react like an energy, like shock of energy. And it was a lot of that, and it was exhausting. I don't want to lie. So when I came first day, it was a lot of those too. And then it slowly started to fade. I kept meditation. That is when I feel good. The only place when I feel good, when I feel. So I kept that as much as, like, really seriously, because there were a lot of those shocks. So my mind yesterday and day before sneakily come in and said, "Yeah, you don't have those bodily sensations. You lost it." I
Hmm.
feel like that's something. So it's like, is that what's your experience with that? And the other thing is, I feel so peaceful and calm. So there is no bliss anymore.
Hmm.
There is no whoa, like
Hmm.
fireworks kind of
Hmm.
thing. It's
Hmm.
more, and it's usually, like I said, meditation. So that's one, or any suggestion for I know it's personal journey for everyone, but after first days or weeks, what's
Hmm.
good to be noticing in. And for me, the last question, I'm so sorry, the dyads and the meditation. For me, everything comes up in the meditation. What comes up in the dyads, when I'm going very much every day because I feel I need it, is reflection, memory of something that came up in any of the meditation, that are long meditations. So that's and thank you. It's maybe all over the place, but I'm
Mm.
newcomer, so
No, that's okay.
yes.
That's perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
So so what comes up for me first is your insight to not go into the mind is really important right now. So for me, I went through a long period on my journey where my intuition was to pull back from learning, in books and listening to teachers, all of that. Because especially when with kundalini and the energy, if the mind starts to learn all the concepts, we can start to create a facsimile of it in the mind, and soon we lose the direct connection to it. So it's very important. So I went through many years of pulling back from all of that. And then at a certain point, it flipped again. So now, I can go back, I can read books, I can listen to teachers, but I'm not looking for anything in those things anymore. So now it's to make connections for the film, and it's more of just a play. It's just to play with those things, but I'm not looking for any kind of truth or any kind of knowing that will give me insight into who I or what I am in that. So I think your intuition is perfect for that. I think it's very important to just stay with the direct experience. Just my teacher would always say, read your own book. Your own book is right here. So you don't need anything external. And so your other question about the dyads. So you said there's not much coming up for you in the dyads. It's just kind
It
of
came one like experience that I would feel. Who would feel like that? So, it's mostly when I'm in the present. I got a lot from that by listening. So that's like something I feel like every story I listen, it's like that is what I got most from it. But once I have just once, maybe it's a partner thing. I don't know anything about it. But the thing that when I go, maybe I'm doing, my mind is immediately, you're doing it wrong. So most of the time is like came the memory, something that I had in meditation that I forgot after meditation, or didn't think about it, didn't reflect. So, but it's always like that. It's nothing they experience in that moment. So it's something that day that I had in meditation, if I went or think I went, in the, that it felt different, the meditation, it felt different, or I always check myself with that question, is that present now? Because there are a lot of crazy stuff coming up, but then I try to with the eye, looking it up, and then so that's my dyad experience. So I'm not sure.
So for me, the what's happening in meditation and the dyads, eventually they come together, so it becomes just one investigation. So you talked about the peace that you feel in the meditation, and so when you intend to directly experience who you are in the dyad, that's like that. It's that invitation to feel that peace, to just be in presence with that other person. So whatever that peace is that you're feeling in the meditation, it's possible to be there also in the dyad. And we're just sort of learning then to speak from that place, speak from that peace. So whatever is coming up in the mind, you can't make a mistake, because it's just whatever's happening. So you can just if we can start to see what's happening in the meditation and what's happening in the dyads as the same investigation. It's all one. It's all you exploring who and what you are. So maybe just see, when your partner says, "Tell me who you are," just the mind doesn't have to do anything with that. When you receive that imperative, it's an invitation into that peace and that presence. And then from there, you can just share whatever comes up, what happens then, and we never know what's going to happen. And then you're just sharing, you're just being free with your partner, just play with it, whatever is spontaneously coming up, and that's it. So this is the bridge to life then. if we can start to do that with our dyad partner, just being free and speaking from that peace, then we can start to do it more and more in life with every situation, everyone we meet, so life becomes an ongoing dyad. Yeah.
I just had a thought. Maybe it's okay for me to share when you're speaking. So this is all new, and I am in 3D live, second day. Nobody knows my experience. Like I'm just trying to listen. And one of the, I won't say character defects of this character was that whenever people will share to me and talk, my mind immediately goes in a help mode. So I would not be good maybe sometimes in listening, not sometimes, very often, like, yeah, I want to help you, I want to say it, whatever. So the second day, I'm still feeling these bursts of energy. I'm sitting, and something beautiful happened that the character that I had relationship with of any kind of, it doesn't matter, trying to tell me something, and my mind came the idea, just witness him. Just witness him, because with him it's very for me to find a peace. He always triggers something in me, of course, emotionally. I was just witness him, and I was immediately switching to the yard. And then for the first time, I was closed my mind and I let him share. It was such a beautiful experience.
Wow.
And I'm very honest. I was like, just witness him. He needed that. It doesn't matter. That's two characters. So that happened.
That's powerful. And so that's you're making that bridge into life, and that's what happens more and more. Is we can start to just witness people and actually hear what they're saying, just be present with them, and allow them, to not be evaluated by the mind. Just letting them be as they are, and it's amazing what happens in life. When we're out of our pattern of evaluating and responding, and we're just witnessing, it's incredible. People, you'll be blown away by what happens in life. Things change very quickly when we start doing that. So that's beautiful. That's exactly what happens with these dyads. So keep going with that. Yeah.
Thank you for your time, and everybody listening, being patient with me. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So, oh wow, we're at almost 12:30 already. Okay, time flies. So thank you everyone, and I'm going to just turn off the recording.